and you will do greater spreading. That's what Paul did, and the other disciples. They did greater works. You see, because they were persecuted there. You know, so it's about what I said earlier: understanding. Understanding is the home of the mind, and what you're doing now in this discussion that we have here is interacting and sharing. You see, I'm not saying that everybody needs to be a Muslim. No, I'm just saying we need to understand, you know, and then we can get along better. You see, you know, we get along going on the bus, going into buildings, and going down to the state office to get in line to get your driver's license. All these things, you get along. You know, say, excuse me, sir, you I was in line, you moved in front of me. You know, okay, you know, you look how well you get along in traffic stops. You know, do you just, you know, run a red light when you want to? No, because something may happen. Bam! You know, my daughter just had an accident the other day. Came through, tore up the car, totaled it, broke her arm, etc. You know, alhamdulillah, God, praise be Allah. Her and the friend that said they didn't die or anything or get real bad injury, but they disrespected law. God has given us law in the Quran, in the Bible, in the Torah, and etc. for the human being. If we obey God's law, guess what you think on? No, I say I'm talking about the law and order of God. You ever heard of the law of gravity? If you jump off a building, guess what's going to happen? The law of gravity going to take care of you. The law of electricity, the law of air, the law of light, the law of this. God put laws throughout the whole creation to bring about order. Now we have the physical creation, have all these laws. Our human creation, why won't
yeah. Why they have Eid Mubarak? You know, is it to the way, I don't know if I understand it wrong, is it for the people who didn't do the whole 30 days to cover the days that they didn't do, or is there another kind of fasting?
No. What you're talking about is Al-Fitra. She's talking after the fast. Listen, this is a good question. When you fast 30 days, obeying God, it means returning back to your original state. You know, to return back. What is your original state when you came into the world? Obedience. You didn't come in here talking ugly and everything. You didn't come here acting crazy. People talking about, this is another thing, and I'm going to connect this with this. They say, in some religious ideal, that the child is born sinful, born in sin and shaped in iniquity. We don't believe that in Islam. You know, you can't go to any hospital in the infirmary and say, that's the bank robber over there, that's the dope pusher there, that's going to be a prostitute right there. You don't see the wrong in any child. Every child is born innocent, not guilty. Innocent, you know. And I've taught in a lot of churches. I've taught in over 500 some churches in the Dallas area. And I asked them, I was teaching in the church and I was asking the preachers and things like that. I said, look, you know, Adam, they say Adam is the one who did the sin, right? You heard it. Adam is the one who did the sin, you know. Well, in Islam, Adam is not seen as a sinner. He's seen as a righteous prophet, you know. Adam's sin is that he made mistakes and he repented. You see, now, but let's look at it this way. In Bible, it said God caused a mist to come up from the garden and then come back down. And then he shaped the man from the earth, right? You're familiar with the story, correct? And then he said, after he shaped him and got him all set and got him in design, he said what? He blew his what? Where did he blow it at? In his nostril, and he became what? A living soul. What was he before he became a living soul then? What's the opposite of living? Dead. So that means your physical body don't mean nothing until when? To the breath of God. So if he became alive with the breath of God come in him, that means that put the breath in him, put the sin in him. But God is not a sinner. You know. So he's not born that way. Every child is born with the breath of God. I give this example many times. If a baby is born stillborn, that means it's what? It's dead. Can we take that baby and put it in a stadium with a whole bunch of people, have preachers there, rabbis there, entertainers there, bring that baby to life? Ain't none of them can do it. Only who? God can do it. You see? So the life that's put into every person is true and right. Because God put it there. It's us in this environment that mess it up. You know, we get it to lying. We get it to acting ugly. So my point is this. You're not born sinful. That's a heavy burden on the human being. I was just born wrong. The word in Arabic for sin is dhambun ithmun. It also means criminal. Criminal. No child is born a criminal. No child is born wrong. Everyone is born right. We mess them up. Just like we got messed up. You see? So once you start telling the person, well, it's just you're just born bad. That's all. You just a bad, you know. Once that thing, okay, I'm born this way, so let me just live how I'm born. But if you tell that child you're born, you know, like they say, a child of God. You're not a child of God. You're a servant of God. You see, and I'm going to serve God in the best manner. You see, so these are things that alleviates the psychological burden that's on the mind of people. So now, going back to you, the Eid now. The Eid al-Fitr, the holiday, the reason why we celebrate, because we have fasted 30 days, you know, and now we celebrating that fast because we have returned back to the obedience. Eid al-Fitr means returning back to the obedience, the original obedience that we were born with. Why? Because we spent 30 days controlling what has caused us to go off, our biological desires. Stop the life thing. All these things. You got to eat. You got to drink. And you got to have procreative activity to carry on life. You know, if you don't have husband and wife making babies, then the world gonna die. Ain't gonna be these little kids around here. Say, well, where the kids at? Well, we stop having babies. More because they're going to die. They're going to be old and decrepit. You see. So God says to us, check your desire. And do you know that the sexual drive is the strongest drive in a person? Because you want to get up in the morning and say, this is a good day to die. Let me go out and see if I can die. You don't say no stuff like that unless you're crazy. You say, let me see how I'm going to live. You know, say, how you doing, man? Just trying to make a living. You know, Imam Muhammad say, before you make a living, make a life. And then your living will come because of that life. You see. So God gave you the life. He blessed you with the life. You know. So live the life according to the rules and law that he gave you. And that's what Islam does. Okay, any more questions?
I wanted to give you all a chance to ask a question before we have the first thing that you want to know.
Faith, I need to hear from you. You got the best name in here. You know, all of us believe in faith. We have faith in God. Whoever gave you that name, you need to thank them. Who gave you that name? You need to thank your mama every day, because that's a beautiful name. Not that nobody else's name is not, but faith. We call it Iman, trust, meaning that I trust God for everything. You see. So give me a question. Yes, ma'am. You going to get married to this brother right here? Okay.
I've always been taught my parents' religion.
You always had your parents' religion?
That's what they believe.
I understand. Yes.
So I'm just trying to get a little bit more knowledge about it and know how to pray. And
well, let me tell you something. What is your name again? Nicole? Let me tell you something, Nicole. I accepted Islam in 1969. That's 49 years ago. In fact, this month, I'll be 69 years old. I know I look 35, but I'm no, but seriously though. And when I came into Islam, you know, I came in looking to have a better life, you know. And somebody asked me once on a radio talk show program, you know, why did you leave Christianity to become a Muslim? I said, because Christianity could not discipline the life that I had. You know, that's why I left it, you know, because I was still doing things, and I was saying I would believe in a certain way, but I was still doing stuff anyway. But when I came to Islam, it made me recognize that certain things I was doing. You see, I wasn't always this Imam, you know. Believe me, you know, just like a lot of other people, you know, they have very terrible lives. And well, I grew up in Chicago in the ghetto and etc. And when you grew up in the ghetto and you grew up in an environment that is very abstruse and difficult and etc., you have to do things to survive. You know. So people wouldn't believe the life that I had. But I went to prison when I was 17 years old. Yes, I did. Went to prison when I was 17. Before I got to that, everybody used to say, "You're gonna be dead before you're 21." You know how the old folks used to make predictions. Where you going, boy? You're gonna be dead before you're 21. You know. So now my mother's 95. She just had her 95th birthday last month. You know, and I always tell her, I say, I made another year, Mom. I didn't go out at 21. you know. So I'm telling you this because whenever you are making a decision, you know, that's why I like what you all are doing. What you call confirmation. Yeah, you have to make a confirmation, a decision. You know, and it's good that people will make choices that you didn't have. You see, our history as an African American people, we were captured out of Africa and worked for 310 years in chattel slavery, meaning with no paycheck. How many here would work for a week without being paid? A month? A year? Could you work on a job for 1 year and wouldn't get a paycheck? Well, we worked for 300